Yeah, sure. So I think, NFTs are obviously super hot, right? Like they're selling for $500,000 or even like 500,000. Um,
Man,
Probably gonna
no,
sell for more.
sorry. Let me
Yeah,
interrupt you. I
go
found
ahead.
Axis for $1.6 million.
It's going through the roof. Yeah,
Because I'm buying some, So
right.
just to let you know, I saw that I was like, what? So please keep going.
Exactly. So that's the biggest question is people are asking like why? Why are these like being sold for so much? And can you kind of shed light on that?
Yeah. So I think the one thing that when from a meta, if we basically just want to go a little high level here, what you're actually buying is data, right? And the thing
Hmm.
that I look at NFTs is it's refined data. It's basically the kind of data that we have made things happen, that have a network effect, that have a value proposition because of the community or because of its construct. And frankly, that is going to the human aspect, what human creativity and achievement is all about. When a painter goes in, you're not buying his paintbrush or you're not buying the canvas. You're buying what's in his head. You're buying his idea. And he just uses the brush or whatever tool he uses to express that creative feeling, that concept, and imbues with it a form of value, whatever that may be, right? It could be big, it could be small, it could be meaningful, it doesn't matter, right? That is human achievement. That is creativity. When you buy an NFT, that is exactly what you're doing. You're buying that same creative achievement with one difference. You're taking data blocks, which today we as users don't understand the value, right? It's like raw materials. I don't know what to do with it. And then we give the data to someone else and he makes something out of it. And that platform today is Amazon, Tencent, Facebook, one of those platforms, right? They refine the data and then they give you back a small benefit, right? So I feel like, that small benefit has created a kind of digital colonialism in which we are currently residing in. But what actually happens is that we are living with the most valuable aspect around it for the data, which is the network effect. The network effect is the thing that gives it value, right? What is Facebook? What is Amazon? What is all of these companies? It's the harvesting of the data that we give to them, the creation of the network effect, and then the benefits in the selling of that network effect to others or some value that we derive. Today, with NFTs, though, I can buy a part of that network effect, that part of that data effect. When I buy an Axie, I'm not buying just a single Axie. I'm buying the whole community of the Axie community. I'm buying a part of the billions of dollars of trade that happens. I'm buying, a community of hundreds of thousands of Filipinos who are playing every day for a living. That's what I'm buying when I buy an Axie. I'm not buying one thing. I'm buying a community. And in the real world, we see this as well. If I buy a Hermes bag, or if I make a choice to buy a Nike shoe versus an Adidas shoe or a Puma shoe, what am I buying? Right? None of those shoes will make me run faster, right? Except that I'm buying something that adds to the community because my friends have it, because LeBron James uses it, right? That's what I'm doing. So we're really buying everything that is of our human achievement and has very little to do with the functional aspect of it in and of itself. Of course, there's a basic function for it, but that's what we're doing, and that network effect is what we're getting into. So now the question: why are NFTs so valuable? Because they have a network effect, right? If the network effect is big, then the value of the NFT is big. Why am I buying a Rolex for that kind of money? Because it means something. Because I'm part of a club or I'm part of a membership. Again, the material of the Rolex is perhaps not that valuable itself, but now that I have a Rolex, I'm a member of something. It means something to me and everyone else who is in that club, and that is something that is a network effect that I'm buying. And that same thing. Axie is worth $1.6 million. Our F1 Delta Time cars are worth $500,000. Sandbox land is worth, close to $1 million, right? For the bigger plots of land. And you get the capital benefits because now that you have the network effect, you can mortgage it, you can lease it, you can rent it out, right? They're yield generating instruments. Just to close on this one, one of our cars not too long ago was sold in the aftermarket, an Apex car, which is a top sort of F1 Delta Time car, for 360,000 US. That car was worth maybe 7 or 10,000 US like a year ago, and people go, "Wow, that's a lot of money for some people," right? But the headline was interesting because actually one of the magazines put a headline on it and basically said, "Here's a Lamborghini for 360,000, and here's this Apex car for 360,000. Which one makes you money?" Right? The Lamborghini is a depreciating asset. It's fun to ride, I'm sure, but it doesn't have a return because it doesn't have sort of the same kind of return effect that the F1 Delta Time car has, which you can use as a yield generating instrument because I'm racing on it and I'm making income. Right. So the paradigms are shifting, but actually I don't think it's that different from the real world. It's just that we haven't transplanted our thinking.
Excellent
Amazing.
answer.
Man.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Fuck,
absorb it all.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I'm like, you should write poetry as well. You know, I'm surprised because the way you make sense of things is just impressive. I mean, I have never seen so many concepts that are difficult to grab, right, into so simple, you know, like terms, and it's really, I am really impressed. And was this vision always there? Was this clarity always there, or?
So I would say, I think like with many people in the field, as in any industry, and not just ours, I wouldn't say that the refining of the clarity that maybe you seem to be hearing, that comes from exercise and practice and basically
Okay.
just telling people every time about this vision. And
Okay.
as time goes on, you also form that, right? It's like practice, right? If you do it many times.
Yeah, sure.
But I think the feeling, I think this is the key thing, the feeling of where the industry needed to go, but that was always there, right? And so I think as people, that's what we do. We have a gut feel. We think this is right. We know this is right, but maybe we can't fully articulate it, right? A lot of people are super excited about true digital ownership, but the concepts around what it means in terms of governance or in terms of maybe new institutions, maybe is a little alien at start because we don't live in that, right? And I think the reason why, for us, we refined our thinking is because, we've done over 80 investments in the space. We're dealing in the industry. We're talking to lots of people. We're building projects, right? You just end up evolving the thinking around it. And, it becomes, I think, more sophisticated in time. But the broad vision, which is data rights and owning your data, has always been the same.
Yeah, may I ask you a question? Personal. How old are you?
I'm 48.
48. Oh, yeah. Same here.
Yeah.